You don't want to be a figure skater. You may think you want to be a figure skater, but you don't. You think you'll be glittery and pretty and shiny, like a rhinestone flag celebrating all things spectacular, but you won't. Let me spell this out for you. If you commit to the lessons you are starting here today, you won't have a life outside this building. Oh, you hear that? That's the mechanical hum of compressors creating ice where it shouldn't be, potentially deadly freon pumping through polyethylene pipes to take the only plain, ordinary water left in the state of Nevada and turn it into a sheet of ice. That slightly higher frequency, that slightly more grating noise you hear is the lights up there. Don't look up, they'll blind you. Those lights up there produce this fabulous jaundice-colored light, this garish glow that will bathe you while in the morning and in the night while you fall on your ass, which will incidentally always look bigger in spandex than you want it to. These kids out there, save one real one, will not be your friends. Oh, they'll be your rivals. You may go to the mall on your limited time off or have dance parties in the locker room when one of you sneaks a beer in. But they'll always be looking over your shoulder when you land, hoping you saw their clean double Lutzes, hoping your camel flew too far, hoping you jumped right out of the rink like Midori Ito did in 1991 World Championships. You look blank. You don't even know who Midori Ito is. Well, because you're 10 years old. She was the first woman to land a triple axel. If you want to skate, you want to be a skater, you have to have a poster of her on your Pepto-colored bedroom wall. You don't know what Pepto is? Oh, well, stick with skating, honey, because you will. If you're lucky, you'll find one real friend, and good for you. You might even get to keep yours. I lost my one true love, Rob. Wonderful high cheekbone, gentle soul who made love to the ice with every stroke of his blade. I lost many of my less than true friends too, to a then new, unfathomable disease that ravaged our tiny world. AIDS, child, AIDS! Skating will teach you a lot more than edges. You won't have time for real friends or boyfriends or girlfriends. You'll train on the ice, you'll train off the ice. You may or may not go to school, depending on how fast you get good. You'll spend all your time focused on getting good enough to compete for 2 or 4 minutes a few times a year. And unless you medal, and medal a lot, and probably even if you do, you'll ultimately be training your childhood away to have my job. My job. Which was lovely for exactly 1 year. When I first turned pro, I skated a show with Christy Yamaguchi. I trained daily with Brian Boitano. And it was right when South Park movie came out and all the kids warmed up to that song every day. They stroked around singing, "What would Brian Boitano do?" And it was truly hilarious because there he was doing what he always does. This. First stroking and then edges and then small jumps, big jumps and some spins. Even the great Brian Boitano spent most of his life surrounded by floor mats onto which hockey players have spit and sweat buckets of ooh. In fact, hopeful next Miss Thing, even if you win the damned Olympics, so named for games originally played by men with sculpted flanks in the shadows of a mountain on which the gods of yore sat, you'll still need moppet-headed comedy writers from Colorado to immortalize you. Only if you're eventually rendered in 2-dimensional construction paper and beamed into the living rooms of every family in this land of liberty will your legacy outlive your biggest fall. Oh, and you will fall. All leapers do. So, the question is, will you leap? Figures.